welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. We now do it in 4 quarters. And my sidekick, Andrew.
Good morning.
You want to get a couple of
Let's
our
get back to those.
Let's get a couple of sponsors because those people make this show available to you at no cost at your home.
You got it. Let's go with Targill Seasoning and Supply. Targill can help you out if you're looking for cutlery, if you're looking for chopping blocks, if you're looking for sausage stuffers, rice cookers. They've got all that. Anywhere from if you're a grocery store to a caterer, if you're a home cook or a outdoor kitchen or camp type guy, they can help you with all of that as well. Go by their location right there on Wartall Street. You'll see the big old shaker can sign in the front with the flashing lights on it. If you want them to do seasoning blends for you, you can get them to do the blends for you. They can package them in your own customized packaging. They can use your recipe. They can help you come up with a new, unique recipe as well. They also license certain blends that you may find interesting and similar to seasonings that you've already tasted out there in the market. Real good place to go. Don't forget about them for cake decorating and pie decorating, classes and the fillers and all. That's Targill.
One more.
And let's go with Steamboat Warehouse. Get mama away from the smell of her own cooking. Head down to Washington, Louisiana, the Steamboat Warehouse. There you can get all the great seafood, steaks, wine selection, ice cold beer. They've got the nice bar area if you want to just have a couple of drinks and visit and walk out on the wharf there over beautiful Bayou Catawba, or you can go into the historic Bayou Catawba. And also in the main restaurant, just beautiful atmosphere. Old Cypress Steamboat Warehouse, built back 100, almost 200 years ago now. Washington, Louisiana, Steamboat Warehouse. Tell chef owner Jason Huguet we said howdy.
And
more photos.
Well, just one second. I want to thank everyone that attended our annual meeting of 3 Mile Lake Association. We had a meeting this past Monday night, and well attended. I think we accomplished several things. The members seem to be enjoying the beautiful lake, and of course it was all the idea of a person that's now deceased, but we like to remember him as the person who made all of this small tract of land. It was probably 400, 500 acres of land, and there's probably 500 plus lots that have been developed on this purchase of this land, and I'm speaking of Walter Leon Packer. Walter, of course, is deceased. His family members are now in charge, and really a beautiful, beautiful idea that he had to develop this and get so many nice lots, with practically every lot having access to water through either a channel or on the lake itself. And it continues to get better and better and nicer and nicer. And
with the annual meeting, you may have already gotten your notice in the mail. If you want to go ahead and send your $100 annual dues, and all that money goes to help pay for liability on the lake, maintenance of the lake, any kind of leaks along the weir, maintaining removal of the water hyacinths, which everybody calls water lilies. Get rid of those things to make it easier for the fish to multiply and not block the waterways.
The boat launch.
The boat launch that's there. You get a key every year to let you enter and use that nice boat launch, the nice metal boat launch, to get stuff in and out. So if you want to give us a holler, you can email us here at the show or call me at 351-0732, and we'll get you your cards out.
And we have a couple more pictures from way back then.
How about this
when I owned this camp, Dupre Escape Camp at Pecan Island. And of course, I passed it on. I sold it to
Carl Dupre.
Carl Dupre, my cousin, Nick's son, and Bill Mamalakis, and of course Bill is in the picture here.
Down at the bottom left.
Down at the bottom left.
That's Gene Mills in the front right.
That's correct. And all the way at the top standing is Joe Callahan, which we don't see Joe too often. He's working mostly out of state, I guess, doing his business operation.
And Ron.
And Ron Boudreau, who formerly lived here.
In Arkansas now?
Now in Arkansas. And Glenn Pete, who is now with Sunset Bank. And
Runs the Lafayette branch, I think.
yeah, with the Lafayette branch. He managed the Lafayette branch. So anyhow, we passed some very, very good times.
How about one more old picture?
Yep, and this is Coach, and he is a DJ and a fun-loving guy. Haven't seen him in a little while, but hopefully he'll come and meet me at my little place in Mamu for the, it's Mamu weekend with the Mardi Gras taking place Tuesday. I'll be doing a little barbecue, and won't serve the barbecue quite as long this year. I won't have Vicky to help me, so I have to kind of borrow some help from whoever shows up to volunteer to give me a little hand.
I'm sure somebody will help you out.
Well, I hope so. And everything is free, of course, till we run out, and we'll have some beer, and we'll have some cold drinks, and we'll pass a good time. And I'm right off of the main drag, right in the back of Kazan Hotel.
Between that and the police department.
Yep, the police department is tied into my building for security.
That's right. How about let's show some photos from last week. Whenever we left the show last week, you and I went to Port Barre for the dedication of the new municipal library in the city of Port Barre, named in honor of John R. Dupree, who's your brother.
That's my brother. That's correct.
And here's some photos. It's the old Dunbar home that was bought right there in front of the graveyard on the main street and right in front of City Hall of Port Barre. It all adjoins on that property. And
they really did a nice job of modernizing a building that otherwise, you know, no telling what would have happened to it.
Alderwoman Polly Pickney was there. Good morning, Polly.
Oh,
It's not a partyless Polly's there, right?
Grand opening, February 19th.
With the cakes and all the things, and showing here that that's the kids area. They've got a nice area. Just
large attendance. It really almost surprised me. Then again, you know, John and Norma Lee and all the children, his 5 children, were all born and raised and educated right in Port Barre.
And they kept the fireplace in there and nice areas to sit and read, and there's computer area set up. And there's a picture of John.
Good picture of John.
I guess he was the principal at that time. Or you think he was superintendent? Probably principal.
Probably principal there.
Right there at Port Barre High. And I see the Daily World was there, getting a little coverage for us. I saw Miss Mary Alice
front
LeBlanc.
page, beautiful article.
Miss Mary Alice LeBlanc, her birthday, who worked with us for quite a few years.
Quite a few years,
Good morning. And I see Donald Andrus, the former
Opelousas,
barber.
yeah, and from Opelousas, we were raised just a few blocks apart.
And 2 of John's daughters, Jean on the left and Andre on the right. Jean and I graduated together. And over on the right here, added a daughter, we got Simone there on the right-hand side,
She's
who's an attorney in Lafayette.
In Lafayette here. And all the way on the right was one of the caretakers, I guess you call them, Miss Gail Celestine, and then we show Gail with her husband, Paul, in a picture coming up.
And on the left
is Nina, and that's Andre's. That's Andre's daughter.
One of John's grandchildren.
And
I see right at the very bottom, you see a big crowd that's there. I see Miss Shirley Rills, who was there. Good morning,
Donald Rills boxed with our Opelousas High Boxing Club. Very well liked young man. Died at a young age, and I remember getting to know Shirley better after his death. We gave a nice fundraiser in honor of Donald and all he had cut up, and good little boxer and just a good friend to all of us.
And here you are with the mayor, Mr. Gil Savoy, who's a great guy to us, always kind, always has a good word to say about us. But he does, you know, one of the things they talked about was the city being financially frugal to better put aside some of the money to help do this library project. Of course, they took donations to do it as well.
Yeah.
But the city's got to come up with their part, and they did that. And I want to congratulate the mayor and his whole staff there, and the alderman. There's Alderman Joe Charles, I guess, from Opelousas.
Right.
And there's our district attorney, Earl Taylor. And I see Jim Lopez and Babs over on the right.
Right, and we have a picture of them later on.
We'll get them a little closer. There's Missy Rills Grimmett and her mama. And we've got over here on the left, Raymond Hogruder, who got very active with fundraising for the library.
Well, we discussed this project, believe it or not, at the wake, John's wake in Lafayette. Raymond, and they took that, and Joe Fred, and Ken Marks, and Gil Savoy, and Todd Abshire, and Toria Valin Como.
Right.
And a lot of others. I'm probably skip somebody that I shouldn't, but I just want to on behalf of the Dupreys, he was my brother. He was also my parent. So on behalf of all of us, to all the people who participated and you people that live in Port Barre that allowed this building to be named after John. You know, sometimes you try to do something like this and you get a lot of...
You get some pushback.
Pushback, and it kills the deal sometimes.
Right, sure.
There was none of that. It was all positive and...
well-liked man in the schools, at church as a lector at church. I mean, just everything. He was everywhere.
And his kids were participated in every different type of sports and activities within the school. And anyhow, thank y'all very much on behalf of all of us in the Duprey family.
And we got more pictures here. I see Senator Guillory and Jim Lopez, two big Republicans there.
Yep, two Republicans.
Got to catch those two together. And then we've got Miss Frankie with the St. Landry Opelousas Chamber of Commerce, and giving a little talk. And of course, there's the plaque on the outside of the building dedicated in his honor, John's honor. And I see Ken Marks here in the background, if you notice over in the back right.
One of those I mentioned just now.
Very active, has really pushed the library and done a lot of the labor. And over on the left, Mr. Abshar.
Todd. He's new to the community, as I understand it, but let me tell you, he took the bull by the horn. This young fella is really assisting. Gil mentioned, the mayor mentioned the work that he's done in other activities besides this, just assisting the management of Port Barre.
And here right in the center, you see with the big hat and matching dress, Miss Norma Lee Duprey.
Yep, John's wife.
What a sweetheart, fixture in the community.
She stayed there and visited with all of her longtime friends. It was a tearjerker. You know, it was
Principal Bill Duplichin, his wife there, and I mean, you just see the crowd. I mean, I took dozens of pictures of the crowd for the P-card there.
And that's Cornelius, that's the oldest son, and Cornelius, of course, donated a sizable amount of money to make this good. Cornelius and Bernie and Corny, God's been good to them, and they've done extremely well, and they've been very helpful to their mom and daddy, and during John's long-term illness, they spent a lot of money helping Daddy and Mama and the family.
And you can see the unveiling of the sign, a real nice sign right
Beautiful
there on Main Street, and showing the family members and all. And I'm cruising through here, and there they are actually cutting the ribbon. And
there, you got it.
I got it. I actually got the ribbon cutting.
And my brother Cody was in there. Back it up one picture. There you go.
There we are.
On the right, standing in the back on the right with the white hair, kind of like Bobby Duprey. You can see the top of my head kind of next to him.
Right. And then we got Toria Violin.
The young lady we spoke about. She's the town clerk and kind of everything. She
did a great job organizing the whole event. And of course, the city employees were there as well. And right there, just if you're trying to figure out where the library is at, right underneath the water tower, you can't miss it. And there's Ken giving a talk. Ken's going to be at a retreat this weekend too. And there we go with Bernie and John's son. And we got Joe Fred Gottschall giving a little talk as well.
Ramrod. He and my brother John were extremely close.
And the two librarians that are there. We've got two ladies who are going to be doing the library type work. So we got a good crowd and good bunch of people. I see Bruce Godin was there as well, who's trying to help organize the parish-wide proposition.
See, his group met with the Mayor's Association for St. Landry Parish, and the mayors that were in attendance were for the project.
Sure did. We're going to take a break. We'll see you folks on the other side of 1 minute.